on the sidelines of REinvest Summit, we do have with us Adnan Amin. He is Director General, International Renewable Energy Agency. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Santosh.
Welcome to our program.
Thank you.
So, you are the part of this International Renewable Energy Agency, which has a mandate to promote renewable energy across the world.
Yes.
And I believe you work with many of the countries of the globe. So, how do you feel about the India's target towards the renewable energy, sir?
Well, I said this morning that this was my very first time in my life to come to India.
Okay.
But as director of the Global Agency for Renewable Energy, it was the ideal time to come to India when you have the announcement and commitment of the government to a target as ambitious as this on renewable energy. So moving to 160 gigawatts of capacity by 2020 is really ambitious in some eyes, but in my view, given what is happening in the world of renewable energy, technology, efficiency and cost, absolutely doable, but you need the political commitment and leadership to make it happen. And when I listened to the Prime Minister this morning, any doubts I may have had about that commitment were allayed. And I think this is a very exciting time for India's energy future. But even more than that, I think it's a very important time internationally, because when we see very fast movement in major markets, it always results in efficiency gains and in cost reductions. So whatever is going to happen in India over the next 15 years is going to have a global benefit, not only a benefit for the Indian citizens.
Okay, so you mean to say the targets that India has set will have the global benefits. As you have heard the Prime Minister's speech as well, we can easily make it out that the political will is there. But to convert these targets into a reality, what else is needed, sir, from your experience, if you can say?
I think what already exists, which is very encouraging, is that there is a tremendous skill base in India. You have a very vibrant private sector. You have a tremendous base of technological innovation that can be built further. You have a skill base in the population, and you have a dynamic kind of private sector development that's going on. There are a couple of problems, and what I see as one of the issues that needs to be addressed is how do you assure certainty, transparency, and longevity to the market. If you can reduce the transaction cost of doing business in India. At the moment, a lot of progress has been made, but it's still very heavy in terms of transaction costs, the number of licenses and approvals and so on, a little bit untransparent. If you can reduce that, you can create a transparent framework. You then create, with an ambitious target like this, a platform through which investment can come from all over the world, skills will come from all over the world, and you'll have a very dynamic development. So I would say the real work still to be done is on the policy and regulatory level, but I think all the preconditions for success are there.
Okay. I suppose at the policy and regulatory level, Make in India is working towards this end only, sir. Sir, in the morning, the Honorable Prime Minister has spoken about this integrated power production capability need to be developed, and then we should have, various types of renewable energy production plants at the same place.
Yes.
So, how far this is feasible, first thing, and second thing is such kind of technologies available in India or across the globe to make it happen?
Well, I think the first thing we have to realize is that we live in a globalized world. Technology doesn't recognize boundaries, capital doesn't recognize boundaries. Capital and technology and skills will go where there is a demand and where the business case is strong. So I think that's a precondition for this to happen, and I think that's what I heard, is that the determination to create a platform for the business case to flourish in India is there. In terms of technologies, there is a huge number of possible technological options in every field. The question becomes, and I think this is why the Prime Minister's focus on innovation is so important, is how do you create an innovation framework where you take those technologies and you gear them to your local conditions and you combine them in ways that make sense. And one of those models which was mentioned was hybrid plants. What we're finding in the world of clean energy, trying to move to cleaner energy solutions, the hybrid gas renewables is an excellent option. You're also seeing hybrid solutions with different types of power sources, cogeneration. All of these things are happening in different parts of the world. You have to find what is the right technical solution for the circumstances you have in each country. And this is the specific thing about renewables. Renewables can be used by anybody, but there is no one-size-fits-all solution because every country is so specific in its institutional framework, in its resource endowment, in its skill sets. So you have to create the solutions around your capabilities to get the best benefit.
Okay. Sir, you mentioned about the example of Bangladesh as well in your
Yes.
speech here. And then, according to you, which of the energy is the most suitable form of energy resource for India, sir, here?
Well, I think that different possibilities are there. You already have hydro. We know that where there's hydro resource, and it's a good resource, it's the cheapest and the most reliable base load. So that is there. I think in terms of modern renewables in wind and solar, India has huge potential for solar. I mean, it's massive potential. So it's hundreds of thousands of gigawatts. And the same for wind. The question is that technical resource potential exists. What is the business framework you're going to put around that in order to get a bankable project? And there was a discussion today about what constitutes a bankable project. It's very interesting that all the conditions that constitute a bankable project, including the technology, the ability of the investor, the management of the institute, these are all doable. The ones which are required to be addressed are the ones to do with licensing and permitting processes, which are very, very intensive and take a long time. If you wait too long, the investment that you are planning to undertake will become irrelevant. You'll have to change your business case again. So I think it's imperative that quick decisions are made in terms of investment, and policy frameworks and regulations enable that to happen.
Okay, great, sir. How long you will be here in India?
I will be here for the conference for 2 days, but since it's my first time, I thought I will stay and benefit from the tremendous history and beauty of India.
Okay.
Take a couple of days to see.
So you will be visiting other parts of the country as well?
I hope so, yes.
Okay, sir. Best wishes to you, sir, and welcome to India.
Thank
and
you.
have a great time in India.
Thank you very much.